So we had some violence in Egypt and Libya. Now it turns out the Libya action is more likely to be connected to a pre-planned attack by al-Qaeda. But certainly there was anger throughout the Muslim world, including obviously specifically in Egypt where they attacked our embassy because of a movie called Innocence of Muslims. Apparently Muslims were offended at what was in the movie. We're going to show you pieces of it and you're going to be able to tell why. Let's watch the first part.
Put your head between my thighs. Do you see this devil still?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, that is Muhammad. First of all, you're not supposed to depict Muhammad. Second of all, you're certainly not supposed to depict him in that fashion. Now, I've always thought that the idea that we're not allowed to depict Muhammad is ridiculous. If you're Muslim, great, don't depict it. But if you're not Muslim, what business is it of yours what we do? Why are you getting into our business? Now, this looks to be one of the worst movies ever made. Nonetheless, of course, I defend their right to make it. Let's continue.
Raise him as one of your slaves if you must.
What shall I call him? To whom should I attribute him?
His name is Muhammad. Bilal, take me to my lady.
Come in, Muhammad. I command you. Sit. You are not wearing undergarments. Cover yourself.
Sorry.
All right. Now, as I watched that the first time, I thought that's really weird. It appeared like they dubbed in some of the dialogue. Now, why in the world would they do that? Well, it turns out there's a very good answer for that, which I'll get to in a second. That relates to who made the movie and why they made it and what they actually told the actors. But to give you a sense of why people were offended, here's one more where, of course, they are showing Muhammad and his followers as pedophiles.
We shall loot the goods, the camels, any animals, and anything else of value.
What about the children, Master? You know, some of us are the children.
You may use whom you wish of the children. The rest shall be sold as slaves to buy more swords and horses.
Okay, so there's an intellectual argument to be made against Islam. Apparently, it was not in this movie. Now, they claim that this movie cost $5 million. If that's true that somebody gave this guy who made the movie $5 million, well, that makes me very happy because that dude got robbed. It cost approximately $50 to make that movie. Look at the green screen behind them. The acting is just about as bad as I have ever seen. The dialogue is even worse. I mean, I just feel sick for everybody involved in this movie. So, who made it? Well, they said that it was a guy named Sam Basile. Now, there's a lot of problems with this. First of all, in one account, he says he's 56. In another account, he says he's 52. He says that he is an Israeli American and that he got 100 Jewish donors to give him money. There were so many red flags here. I thought, which Israeli American goes around saying, oh, I got Jewish donors? It seems weird. It seems a little off, right? Well, then in another article, when he's talking to someone else, he says, oh, I'm Jewish and I'm from the general region. Now, wait a minute. If you're from Israel, why wouldn't you just say that you're from Israel? Why would you say the general region? No. As soon as I saw that, this guy is lying. There's something really off about this. This guy says in one of the interviews, well, I don't want to say who I am because I've got family in Egypt. Wait a minute. I thought you were an Israeli. This guy's the world's worst liar. Now, Steve Klein is, according to himself, a militant Christian who is fighting against Islam here. There's a whole group of Islamophobic people here that are trying to, spread misinformation and smears against Islam in the United States. Klein said, apparently, that he vowed to help Basile make the movie, but warned him that you're going to be the next Theo Van Gogh. Now, Theo Van Gogh, of course, was killed by Muslim fundamentalists. So apparently they knew what was coming, that this would cause violence, this movie. In fact, Steve Klein told him, we went into this knowing this was probably going to happen. This is after he knows the violence happened in Egypt and Libya, and before we knew that our ambassador had gotten killed likely by Al-Qaeda and not these guys. But our ambassador is killed. 4 Americans are killed. Steve Klein makes the comments anyway. Oh, we knew it was going to happen. It was no problem. And then this Sam Bassile gets interviewed, and he says, oh, yeah, well, I feel the security system at the embassies is no good. America should do something to change it. In other words, oh, it's not my fault. It's your own security problems. I create enormous problems for you, and then there's violence in your area. I knew it was coming, but haha, so what? You should have gotten better security cameras. These people are repugnant. Now, nonetheless, I defend their right to be repugnant to the end of the world. I absolutely believe in freedom of speech, and if what are you going to do? Stop them from doing this? Well then, if you do that, can you not legitimately criticize the religion of Islam or any of the other religions? Oh, hell no. And anyone who does a violent attack because they are offended because of their religion has only done something 1,000,000 times worse than the person who offended their religion in the first place. And second of all, as I said before, I am under no obligation not to offend your religion. So I defend their right to make this movie, even though it was one of the worst movies I have ever seen. I didn't see the whole thing. I saw enough to say, wow, that was hideous. Now it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks so. So does the entire cast and crew of the movie. They say that they were duped. At first I thought, oh, come on, that can't be true. But then when you hear their quotes, you realize, oh my God, they were. Let me tell you what they say. The entire cast and crew, according to the Los Angeles Times, are extremely upset and feel taken advantage of by the producer. We are 100% not behind this film, and we're grossly misled about its intent and purpose. They continue, we are shocked by the drastic rewrites of the script and the lies were told to all involved. We are deeply saddened by the tragedies that have occurred. Now, again, I might say, well, look, that's convenient to say afterwards, but listen to the rest of it. It was going to be a film based on how things were 2,000 years ago, according to Cindy Lee Garcia, who's one of the actresses there. It wasn't based on anything to do with religion. It was just on how things were run in Egypt. There wasn't anything about Muhammad or Muslims or anything. In fact, she explains Muhammad wasn't even called Muhammad. He was Master George. So people go back and look at the film and they realize, you know what? The actors are telling the truth. It's dubbed in. And sometimes you can see their lips saying different things like Master George instead of Muhammad. How vile are these filmmakers that they lie to the whole cast and crew because they know that they might get them in trouble, that their lives might be endangered by this movie. So they lie to them and do it to them anyway. And then who gets caught in the crossfire? We do. That's why I'm against fundamentalism. That's why I'm against this movie and the guys who attacked the embassies based on this movie. They're both totally and utterly wrong.